All right, so I'm back in the hospital. So what brought me here this time? Again, this time it started with a fever and intense body pain on the inside. It was a pulsating, terrible pain that required me to go to the ER as fast as possible. The doctors are running tests, and they don't know what's wrong with me. They think it's a bacterial infection or some sort of infection. So they got me on all sorts of antibiotics. I'm feeling a little better. The fever's finally broke after about 4 days of my fever's running 100.6 to 102 was the highest. And now I have severe body pain. It is very difficult for me to move, and as you can see, my oxygen levels kept dropping. So they had to put me on different breathers in order to give me oxygen, so that way I could breathe. So that's the update right now. I can't even really put into words how terrible this is. And this is not just some one-off thing. It's been 2.5 years of this same scenario over and over again. I get the slightest tiny bit better and I end up right back in the hospital. I'm getting real tired of this. And on top of all of this, bad feeling, on top of all this sickness, I still have to do dialysis. And it's just the worst. I'm in a lot of pain. This is just miserable. None of this is fun. None of it. It is day number 6. I've been at the hospital for treating a sickness that is unknown right now. The doctors and everyone, the nephrologists and the oncologists, are still trying to find out what's wrong. And I'm here getting dialysis. And my catheter stopped working. So now I'm full of this fluid. And there's no way to get it out. I'm very uncomfortable. I feel bloated, and there's really nothing I can do until they give me something to help get rid of the blockage. I'm having a great time. Thus far, they've done a full body MRI on me, and they told me the findings, and they found something. They don't exactly know what it is, but they found something. So what they're going to do is they're going to refer me to a specialist to help me figure out what that is in order to be able to help me. So tomorrow I'm having a bronchoscopy, and they're going to go down into my lung with the camera to see what's going on. And that's happening tomorrow, and maybe soon they're gonna let me go. I've been feeling better. I've been feeling stronger. I don't have any nerve pain. I can move my body. Still having trouble standing, but if I just walk more, then I'll be able to do it. But we're gonna see tomorrow, and we're gonna see if by next week I can be home and they can start the process of finding out what's wrong with me again. I had a blockage with the catheter that was preventing it from working. So they had to clear it. So I'm fresh out of operation, and they made 3 incisions. They found out what the problem was, and they cleared it. Fortunately, the catheter is working exactly the way it's supposed to now, and there shouldn't be any problems moving forward.
Yeah.
This is day 11 of my hospital stay. I went into minor surgery yesterday to fix a blockage with the catheter. Something inside me was preventing it from working. So the fluid would go in, but the fluid wouldn't come out. And it was very painful. It caused bloating and discomfort, and it was just the worst. It was the worst. I said it before and I'll say it again. I will always hate dialysis. But I realize this is something that I need in order to be able to live. But I will never, ever, ever like this. Ever. But the surgery went well. I'm recovering right now. I'm really sore. But, you know, I've been here before. And we'll see how much longer I have to stay in the hospital before they let me go. Luckily, my hospital stay has been pretty good. The nurses have been excellent. They've treated me with a lot of respect, and I really appreciate that, because they could have not done that. I apologize for the quality of the video. I'm like getting really dark, and I'm getting like, the light is really like lighting me up, and then I'm getting really dark again. All right, so I'm in North Bay Hospital right now, and due to the excessive heat, there is a power outage in the hospital. Luckily, I'm not on any sort of life support systems or anything like that. But you can see the power is completely out. Now I'm assuming that there are going to be some sort of backup generator or something like that coming on, because the AC is on, but nothing else is. Not the TV, not the beds. Okay, so this is day 13 or 14. I'm not sure which. This is my final day in the hospital. They're discharging me today. I'm feeling better. I've recovered. From what they've told me, the antibiotics that they gave me killed whatever bug they found. Now, they found something, but they couldn't identify it. But they know it's there, but they can see that whatever antibiotics they gave me, which is evidently the strongest from what they were telling me, like, killed the bug. It's killing the bug. So I should be fine, but I'm still a little concerned that this is going to happen again, and I'm going to end up back here, because this has happened before. And I've been hospitalized for the same reason. And I'm just really scared it's going to happen again, and I don't want that, because this is miserable. Like, this is terrible. Like, the way I feel when I get this way, how long it lasts, the fact I have to be hospitalized every time it happens. It's just, you know, and then on top of being here, having to deal with all that sickness, I still have to do dialysis, and it's still painful for me. And then the catheter stopped working, and the catheter got blocked. So now I have to go into surgery in order to get that. So now I'm hurting from surgery. I'm still sick, and I have to get dialysis, and it's still painful. So it's just all of these things just stacking up, and all of the insecurities and the embarrassment of being a dialysis patient, and just constantly thinking to myself, like, what if this is it? Like, what if this is my whole life now? Like, what if, there is no kidney for me? What if they wait too long and I just can't get the help I need, or my health declines and this is just it? I'm just stuck this way for the rest of my life. And it's just, that's worst case scenario. And you got all these people telling you to be positive and telling you to look on the bright side, but they're not going through this. I am. I'm the one that's experiencing this pain. And people just want you to stick around and just suffer because they don't want you to stick around and suffer. Let me rephrase that. They want you to stick around because they love you, but you're suffering. And there's no way that they could possibly understand what's happening to you and how much pain you're going through. They just see it, but they don't want you to leave. But a part of you kind of wants to, because you just want it to end. You just want it to be over. You just want the pain to finally stop, and you just want things to just be normal. You just want rest. You just want peace. You just want things to go back to the way they were, but you know that it'll never be the same. It'll never be the way it was before. Whatever it was, whoever I was before is dead. Well, whatever it was that I was able to do, whatever, it's gone. It's gone. And I can't get it back. Regardless, no matter what anybody says, I can't get it back. I got this thing in my stomach for I don't know how long. And I think that's the hardest part about the whole thing, is that there's no timetable. Nobody can give me a definite time of when any of this stuff is going to end. So just like the HLH, it just feels like it's just like the HLH and going through chemotherapy. It just feels like it's never going to end. I'm just on this endless death march to my grave. That's what it feels like. And there's not very many people that can understand what that means. They try to, and I appreciate that. And they try to be understanding, but at some point they're just going to want you to just shut the fuck up about it. And now you got to start smiling for the audience. You got to put on a mask, and you got to pretend that your pain isn't. You got to pretend your pain away, because nobody wants to hear that anymore. Like, yeah, it was cool you being sick and you being sad about it for the first 3 months, but like people are just like, oh, you still on about that? Man, you're still pissed off about this dialysis? Like, man, that was a long time ago. And it's like, no, it's not a long time ago. This is every day for me. Like, this is every single day. Every single day I have to hook myself up to a machine that keeps me alive. Because if I don't, I'm going to die. Like, there's no if, ands, or buts about it. That's not opinion. That's fact. People just don't understand. So now you have to bottle up all of that. You have to try to, not bottle it up, but you have to try to hide all of that pain, all of that fear, all that insecurity, because even the closest people to you can't understand. Okay, so there's been some new developments. They are going to discharge me today. But there's a caveat. The catheter is not working. Now, I've said this previously in other videos, but like, it's really not working. And after surgery, there was a complication. As you can see, there is a lot of swelling from where they did the surgery. Now, this is not fat. This is actually fluid. So when they made the incision here, some of the peritoneal fluid that got left in from a previous PD session where my catheter stopped working leaked into the leaked into this area. So they can't take the risk of filling me with more fluid because then this will get bigger. So the plan is they're going to hold dialysis until this goes down. So they're going to cut dialysis for right now and wait to see if the swelling goes down. Now, if it doesn't go down, this is the caveat I was talking about. If it doesn't go down, they can't use the catheter anymore. But they still have to do dialysis, which means they're going to have to do hemo. And they're going to have to put a catheter in my chest. And that is the worst case scenario because there's high risk of infection. And I didn't want hemo because I didn't want any more surgeries. I just didn't want any more surgeries after this. Like, I had the one surgery to get the catheter put in. The thing was working fine, and then it stopped working. And then I had to go into another surgery to get it working again, and now it's like not working again. And the last thing I want is any more surgeries. Like, I don't want any more surgeries. Like, I'm done with that, you know. And it's just, man, I just want one thing to go right with this whole situation. And thus far, everything's been going wrong. Everything's been going wrong. And I don't know what to do. I don't even really know how to feel anymore. Like, I don't know how much more sadness and anger and embarrassment I could feel about this. Of just, if they stop doing dialysis, like, there's a possibility I'm going to get sick again, and then I'm going to end up back in the hospital, and they're going to have to treat me again. So they're putting me on diuretics in order to be able to eliminate some of the fluid to bring the swelling down. So I need this to work. I need this to work because I can't do hemo. Like, I can't do hemo. I just can't do it. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of this. And just people that aren't going through this won't understand the embarrassment that I feel about this whole thing. And just the humiliation and the blow to my pride that, like, nobody, unless you're going through this and you understand, or you're a person that could understand, or you're a person that feels this way, you can't understand what this is like. You just can't. Now, you have some people out there that are going through this and they're just happy-go-lucky and they always look on the bright side and blah, 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 and yada, yada. Good for them. Good for them. But for me, I'm looking at this realistically. Like, this is real. Like, stuff is going wrong here. And you can't smile and sunshine that away. Like, stuff is going wrong for me here. And I can't turn this around, and I can't make this right. And all I can do is just nothing. Because I can't fix the catheter. You know what I mean? And I can't, get rid of the toxins in my body by myself. You know, if I could, I would, but I can't. That's not how it works. So I'm at the mercy of this machine. And, like, my whole life has now been changed. And I have to change and alter everything in my life. And for somebody that's watching this video just thinking that I'm just a complainer and what's the big deal, it is a big deal. It's a big deal to me. The stuff that I used to do, who I was, all of the things that I had that I chose to define me, those are gone now. You know, I can't do any of those things. And I can't tell you how heartbreaking that is to know that I'm not that person anymore. I'm just not that guy anymore. I'm this now. And like this machine defines me. And my whole life now revolves around this machine. My whole life is defined by hospitals and dialysis and hemodialysis and clinics and doctor's offices and all that. My whole life is now revolving around that. And no matter what anybody says, no matter how look on the bright side people are, it still doesn't change the fact that, like, this is my life now. And people keep telling you to adjust and just shut up and just be happy. Hey, just be happy. Just shut up and just be happy. You know, who cares about your pain? Nobody cares what you're going through. Nobody cares about your pain. Just shut up. Just suck it up and just do it. Nobody cares about your emotional stability. Nobody cares. Just suck it up and do it. So you gotta just keep things to yourself. Or express your feelings in videos you're gonna put on the internet later that nobody's gonna watch. But yeah, that's it. Hemodialysis is just looming around the corner. My catheter's not working. I got this bulge swelling in my stomach from excess fluid. I look hideous. You know, I'm embarrassed by the fact that I have this plastic tube in my stomach. I'm disgusted by how I look. You know, I'm disgusted with my body. And it's a shame because before all of this happened, I was just getting to a point in my life where I was happy with who I was. I was happy with how I looked. I was happy with my life and the things that I did and the kind of person I was happy. I was more than happy. I was getting to a point where I was okay with being myself. And then, boom, I get sick and all of that just gets flushed down the toilet. And now I'm back to being embarrassed again. I'm back to loathing, you know, the way I look. And now I'm a slave to the PD machine.